Inspiration Nation. Hello, Lee Kemp here for a very, very early morning on the podcast. Just about here with Joe and Ryan. How are we doing?
I'm tired.
I am amazing.
Oh, can I tell you something?
Yeah,
Joe?
come on, Inspiration Nation, let's go. Come on, guys.
Right, let me just tell you. I'm also amazing because I'm always up at this time in the morning, and it killed me pretending I was asleep for that long.
Are you joking? Am I the only one that's...
Yeah, I was hoping you'd be awake as well, Ryan, so that I could do my fake tiredness. And I've had about 20 minutes of small talk pretending I'm really tired, but I'm wide awake because I'm always up at this time.
This is amazing, Lee.
Actually, that's not true. I'm always up at this time during the week. At the weekend, I'd normally sleep in, but I feel quite good. My alarm went off and I was wide awake. Got my Inspiration Nation coffee. Sorry, Ryan.
It's 5:57 in the morning.
I am not as happy as Joe. I was going to try and keep my tiredness thing going for a bit longer, but as we've been kind of pottering about getting ready, I couldn't do it anymore. I did a cool little bit for the video. You guys will see it when you put it all together.
Oh, wicked.
We are ready to go.
You totally
Inspiration
tricked me.
Nation. I did try and trick you. So, what have our weeks been like? How are you, Joe?
I'm really good. Really good, actually. Yeah, really good. A lot of good stuff happening, actually, in the coaching space. For me, personally, it's just... I just had a chat before we came on, didn't we? And I don't know if you heard it, Ryan, but it's just like... So really, like... I thought there's just little bits, but actually when I talked to Lee about it before we came on, they're quite significant. Some good connections going on with people, a lot more engagement. Like, the whole thing is like filtering through to my work, through engagement, everything. So yeah, it's been a great week. It's like I'm now, delivering coaching where I work, proper, training people how to coach. A significant move forward, which I'm really proud about. Which is all started off the back of this. I was saying today, it's all started off the back of, doing Inspiration Nation over a year ago now. And we started the videos and stuff like that, and having this podcast is just really, I think it's really helped me focus even more on it. Maybe even even more obsessed than I was before. So I'm super obsessed.
You were already super obsessed, Joe. You're now super, super obsessed.
I was there at a different level. I didn't realise there's another ever super, super obsessed.
Ryan, do you want me just to avoid talking to you?
No, I had a good week, thank you.
Excellent. That's very good to hear. Oh, you sound a bit more awake now as we get into this.
Let's not push it.
I've been all over the social media this week, guys. We've had a lot of really, really positive interaction. So people out there listening, we really thank you for the interaction. Follower numbers are going up again. And also, I've been very productive, to use our keyword this week. And where we do all our kind of quotes and audiograms and all that stuff on social media, I did fall behind a bit over the Christmas period, and I had a bit of a backlog of episodes to get quoting on, and I caught up on all of that this week as well. So feeling pleased with myself, clearing out my to-do list.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that on Twitter. Masses of it. Because I retweet it. Oh my God, there's loads on it, but it's fantastic, really good.
So yeah, been a good week this week.
Yeah, very productive.
So, what is the subject? I'm not going to say of the day. What is the subject of the morning/night, Joe?
Well, I thought we'd talk about this. I think it's really about early morning routines. I'm not even prepared anything for this. I was going to talk about something different, but I think since we're early morning routines, I think we should talk about it.
Okay. And
see how we're feeling about it. Because it's definitely, could be coming up so early. Like, I usually get up at this time, like Lee, but at the weekends I get up a little bit later, maybe sort of like 5:30, 5:45. Or I get up.
I can just see Ryan shaking his head now at that thing of a little bit later of 5:30, 5:45. So actually, this wasn't a stretch. Oh no, I suppose because you do your routine, don't you, Joe? So this was a bit of a stretch for you then.
So I got up this morning. I got up at 4:45. I whacked in the shower. Oh, that's wrong, isn't it?
Oh God.
What did you do now?
I got straight into the shower. I meant to say. That's come out wrong, isn't it? I got straight in the shower and I had to change up my routine a little bit because I wanted to get a bit of my journaling in. And I wanted to get a video in before I came on the podcast. So I did a video about your values this morning before I came on. So I did that and posted it on Instagram before I came on to here today. Because you'll probably see it. And I did a little Instagram story as well about it's 5:28. I think it was 5:28 when I posted it, or 5:29. So I post it before the guys come on, so you can have a look at that if you want. But I thought it was quite a good thing to do. But it just meant I had to compress my morning. So I think I'd like to talk about maybe morning routines and maybe how we're feeling about it. I know, Ryan, it is very early for you, bless you. You probably, I don't know, do you stay up late, Ryan? Quite a lot?
Yeah, I'm definitely more of an evening person than a morning person. I went to bed at maybe 11, half 11.
Yeah.
Because I can't switch off before then.
Yeah. So this is a real challenge for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I've spoken to Lee about it actually this week. I've really tried this week to get up at 6 for work. I know you think, well, 5 isn't that much bad in comparison to 6, but I've been shattered all week because I haven't gone to bed any earlier because I don't feel tired any earlier. I do, but I don't think I could go to bed any earlier and actually go to sleep.
But we said you stuck with it this week, didn't you? Because me and Ryan play Fortnite quite often in the evenings, and we kind of been keeping tabs on our little habits. And this is your one, Ryan, which I thought was quite timely because even though it's been hard, you stuck with it for the week.
Yeah, and I was finally looking forward to a lay-in.
I have to confess, when it's been a really heavy week, because this was only last night we agreed on this, guys. And when it's been a really heavy week, I do quite look forward to crashing on a Friday evening, knowing that actually I don't have to go to bed that early because I don't really have to get up in the morning. And then a curveball got thrown in where you threw out an idea, Joe, which is why we're here now. And I think everyone said yes and wanted everyone else to say no.
Yeah, I was banking on Lee to say no, but I know how much of a morning person he is.
I was half wanting everyone to say no on this one as well. I was going, it was a bit of a crazy idea though. It just came to me. I was absolutely crazy. I thought, I don't know what happened. I was just like, because we were talking about that, and we've got a lot of things on today, and I just thought, oh, all right, what about this? And I just thought, well, I'll put it out there. His idea interaction thing, that was the thing, that was what it is. I said, well, I have to share it. I had to share it. And whether you said yes or no, it would have gone whatever. And when you went, yeah, we're going to do it, I went, oh, no, this means I really have to get up extra early. And I suppose a little bit Ryan with you, like, you're getting up early, but for me, I have to get up extra early so I can sort of empathise with your pain a little bit there.
So, Joe, you've been up. You've done your whole, we talked quite avidly through the podcast, and people can hear that in the back episodes about your morning routine. And actually, am I right from our small talk earlier when I was pretending to be asleep that you've got up extra early and done your whole routine before we've done this?
Yeah, it was a little bit compressed, but it was like 4:45, so I had to get it all done. But I did change up a little bit. I did compress, but I did do it. So I did my meditation, I did my journaling, I did my video, which is 479. So I put it all in, and then I did the little Instagram story before, and so I did it all before coming on, but I've had to push myself to do it, but I feel great.
That's good. I can hear it in your enthusiastic tone, Mr. Neuer. Ryan, have you rolled out of bed and pressed play on your computer?
No, I had a shower.
Oh, look at that.
Very good. Look at that. Yeah.
First alarm went off at 5. Second alarm was 10 past. Third alarm was 20 past. And then I had to roll in the shower. That's why I was a bit late.
We followed the same routine then, Ryan. Mine went off at 5. I haven't showered, but for the effect, I thought if we're going to do this, and people will see this on the YouTube if they're watching, I've left my bed hair in. I'm disappointed because normally I have much worse bed head than I'm showing on camera right now, but it's still a little bit all over the place. So I didn't have the shower, but I was going to do the same thing as a wake up. But actually, when mine went off at 5, surprisingly, I felt quite good because that's when my alarm first goes off for work. I think initially my brain was thinking it was Friday. And I was like, and it was a little bit that went, oh, I'll do this tomorrow for the podcast. I was like, oh no, it is Saturday today. Oh, it's podcast. Oh, I'm quite awake. And I did a little bit of, went through my social media notifications, got out of bed, made a coffee, and here we are. But
That's
actually, because Joe, you said you're normally up, what, about 4:30?
No, I didn't.
5?
I did about 5, yeah.
5, yeah. Ryan, you're now pushing yourself to 6 from 7.
Yeah.
I'm normally, I would say I'm about 4:15. I just looked at my clock there. I've got no idea why I looked at my clock. People just do it when they're talking about the time, don't they? I normally get up about 5:15, 5:30, I think, in the morning. And I never used to. I naturally am a late sleeper. I used to be the person who would get up half an hour before I had to be at work and run through the door 2 minutes late. And then it's probably, well, after my kids were born, because that changes your routine. So probably about 5-6 years ago, and partly with the kids. And then I started to get lifts to people to work who got in really early, but it was a necessity at the time. And actually, I found, and you see loads of this on social media about wasted time and stuff like that. I found actually the extra time in the morning was really valuable. And I'd get lots done and I'd get hit for the day. And I found whilst I am someone who will stay up late, all my energy is at the start of the day and then it peters down throughout the day. So actually, if I power through that bit of not hit my snooze button and get up and get going, I get a lot more done and I feel really good for it. And from that, I am definitely a morning person. I'm probably one of the first or very first people in the office every day. If I've got stuff to do at the weekend, I'll get up and I'll hit doing it straight away because I know where my energy levels are. It's definitely not natural for me, but I do enjoy doing it once I get into it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I never used to be, so I was very like Ryan actually, like you, Ryan. I mean, I used to go to bed at 1 in the morning. Probably was your age, I would do that because I used to do that a lot. Yeah, because I was a late person, and I definitely, and I still easily could go back into that. But I'm with you, Lee, on that. Is that now I get up early, I find I get a lot more done. And even now, after we finish this podcast, I've got much more of the day to like maybe have a go at my blog and stuff, because I didn't think maybe if we didn't get on this podcast, I wouldn't have time for the blog because I would have done all the morning routine, not done this. And I may not have squeezed in my blog before I have to go and do what I have to do, which is, help my family. And so, yeah, I find I'm a lot more awake. I find I'm not more alert. And when I'm hitting work, because I've done my routines and I've done all my thinking, I've woken up. When I get to work, I just feel like I'm ahead. I feel like I'm ahead of everything. I feel like I've got a jump on everything. And when other people sort of like rush in, I used to do the same thing. I used to rush into work, and I used to just rush through my day and bump into everything. But now I get up early, I just feel a lot more centered. I feel a lot more where I can just step into the day and don't feel rushed, I suppose. And that makes me a lot more considered in things that I can do, and just like, okay, we're in. And then when I'm talking to people, I just feel like I'm here. I'm already well awake. And you see, maybe other people coming in and they're not so awake, and they're going off and doing this, and I feel that I'm ahead of it. I feel that, oh, okay, this is good. But it's taken. I've had to make an intentional effort to change my routine from going to bed later, like the 1 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. And actually, when I think back about my stories, that when I had my mental health, really suffered when I was doing that, and I was staying up late, and then I'd rush into work. And I think you're rightly, having children makes you get up early. You have to do it anyway, but when you have children combined with that, it doesn't help, because you do need your sleep. 100% you need your sleep. So for me, I have to get 6 or 7 hours in. So I went to bed about 9:30 last night. I used to go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then I have to have those hours. If I have less, I do suffer. And one thing you said actually just a bit quickly about the alarm, I don't actually ever set an alarm now. I actually I wake up without the alarm. That's how routine. That's how my body now knows. Like even this morning, when I was thinking I was going to bed, I even woke up at. I think I woke up at like when you used to look at the alert, look at the clock. I woke up at 4, and I thought, I've still got a bit more time, so But I was always like stirring at 4, because my mind now is switched on to, I have to get up early. I have to get up. I was up my routine. I have to get up extra early this morning because of this. And so my mind was almost like saying to me, you better start waking up. And I was awake at 4, and I was gradually waking up. And then I thought, I better get up now. It's 4:45. I need to get this routine in. So that's when I jumped into the shower. I've probably gone on a little bit there, but that's a lot of my thoughts that have come out, and a bit of background as to, I think, now you've asked that question, there's been a lot actually that's led to this point.
I don't think I could ever not set an alarm, because I'd just wake up at like 11 a.m. and be like, oh, I miss work.
I know that feels, for someone who likes risk, that feels really risky to me.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to
Same.
be comfortable, especially like when we're doing something like this, where you know you've got to be doing something at a certain time. That's good though. It's really good because they say that your body does get into a routine.
Yeah.
So it's really good. I admire that you're at that place. I don't think I could do that.
Maybe it's an experiment. I think what it is. Do you know what
I'd never get to work, Joe.
Do you know what I think it is? Do you know what I think it is? I think it's because there's almost a little bit of anxiety there when I go to bed. Not now. I used to go to bed. I'm like really conscious about being. One of my values is I want to be wherever I am on time. I want to be on time. It's a real deep-seated value. So I get anxious if I'm not where placed on time, and so I think that plays into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Where I think because of my deep-seated value that one of my I have to be there on time is that I think that wherever it is in my subconscious or whatever, and that's why I don't have to use it. And I did experiment with it at first because obviously I did have an alarm back in the day. I can't. Do you know what? I can't remember the last time I set an alarm. Must be 2 years ago. It must be because I started this whole Inspiration Nation about a year and a half maybe now. But even before then, like this early thing, I've been experimenting over the years because there's a book by Hal Elrod. I don't know if I've explained him before. Hal Elrod, and I think he's the 5 a.m. club. And I've been looking at getting up earlier and earlier because a lot of people who have a lot of success get up early. They get ahead of it. And I thought, well, I'm going to try this and see if it works. And it works. It does work. And I never thought of that. And like getting up before, you look outside now, lemon dark, right? But a lot of the people, if you study success, a lot of the people who do a lot of great stuff do get up early. Like you've got your David Goggins gets up early. He gets up. You've got The Rock who gets up massively early. He goes into the gym at 4 a.m. in the morning. So there is a pattern. Now, not everybody has to get up early. Of course they don't. But even there's a guy called Grant Cardone. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Super successful. Does sort of in the digital space, and he does a lot of videos about get up before the sun's up. One of the things, get up before the sun's up, and start your day that way. And he says you get ahead of it. And I must admit, I was a bit skeptical at first, but since I've been doing it now, probably a good few years, like I said, it definitely does make a difference. And I get a lot more in. I can write my blog. Like when I get up, I can write my blog right now, and get to work, do my videos every morning. And it's given me more space to work in, and I don't feel rushed. I don't feel like I'm hitting my day without a plan. So yeah, for me, I think it really, really works. Although it was really, really, I can't understand how hard it was for me to change who I believed I was a late, what's it called it, a night person, and not an early morning person. But I've managed to change that, and now I am an early person. And when I try and sleep in, I really find it uncomfortable. Like my sleeping now is if I try and lay in bed, it might be 8 o'clock, and then I'm struggling. I'm sitting there, lying down, going, I need to get up. But I have to force myself to stay in bed. That's weird. It's the weirdest thing. Weird.
Complete change in yourself. Then, can I just say I'm very pleased you made a little quiet reference to my secret love in life, which is professional wrestling.
Oh, but The Rock.
Yeah. He does a load of great stuff on social media, though, doesn't he? That whole inspirational space.
No, I've not.
Go on.
No, you say first.
Oh, I was going to do a bit of shilling, so I kind of cut off some content for me just trying to sell some merchandise. I was going to say, keeping me awake this morning is my coffee in my Inspiration Nation mug. Yes. Is it time to put our mugs on the screen?
Yes.
Head over to inspirationnation.org.uk, hit the shop button at the top. You can get yourself an Inspiration Nation mug, many designs there, hoodies, t-shirts. Got my hoodie on this morning.
Yeah.
To inspire me, t-shirts. I think there might be some socks on there. I'm not sure whether we did them or not. Stickers, lots of great. I think so. I'm not 100%. If they're not, we will get some on there. And of course, my favourite, the Inspiration Nation tote bag, all available at inspirationnation.org.uk.
That should be a t-shirt. My favourite bit is the tote bag. There must be some sort of thing about that. You're obsessed with your tote bag.
It's because it took me so long to design a graphic for it that I'm just really pleased with it.
wouldn't be saying, but I think you got a secret thing about tote bags. I seriously do now.
I don't think I even own a tote bag.
Do you not?
No.
Okay.
There is an episode of a cartoon my kids watch where it's called We Bear Bears, and it's about 3 bears, and they get obsessed with tote bags like an addiction. Don't know why that just popped in my head then, or what relevance that has, but it's quite early, so I'm going to say it.
Well, I think there's a bit of a thing there where you might have a secret obsession with tote bags because you just said that. It's somewhere buried down there.
Right.
I'm obsessed with tote bag t-shirt. That's what it is. That's a Lee one. That's yours. I'm
I
Rex.
haven't got a t-shirt yet, have I? And Ryan loves a grape.
Yeah. I did a thing on that the other day. I did a little Instagram story about rewarding yourself with a grape, Ryan.
Yeah, I did see.
Yeah, I think I tagged you in it as well.
Yeah.
Tote bags.
Grapes.
Can I just say, I'm going to divert us in a different direction. This kind of links in. So a thing me and Ryan have been doing during the week is keeping tabs on each other with our habits. So which made me think of it now, because see Ryan getting up early through the week, which he's had tremendous success with. You've also been pushing yourself on the breakfast thing, haven't you, Ryan, after us talking about it on a podcast a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
And I'm right in thinking you've had breakfast every day? Or,
Yeah.
you know, near enough since you said I'm going to start doing it, you've been doing it?
Yeah, I have every day. I haven't had anything yet this morning, but yeah.
It's not the morning yet, really, though, is it? How are you feeling for doing it?
The first few days, it made me feel really, really ill because I just wasn't used to it. But now I just, I'm finding that when I get home from work, I'm not hungry. So usually we have dinner at home at about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and where I'm eating breakfast, I'm not hungry till like 7, 8 o'clock. So I think it's just keeping me going through.
That's really good. And is that because you're feeling it? Are you getting that? Is that giving you kind of the vibe to keep going with it because you can see the benefit?
Yeah, I think it's given me a reason to kind of carry on. It's all part of the routine of making sure I get up early, and then why have I gotten up early? So I can eat something, and then it's, you know, so then my day just starts a bit better than what it has been.
That's really good. And this, again, I remember the episode and it stuck, and this is why, Joe, we're keeping tabs on it. I've from a habit, Joe just sent us a picture of Elf putting syrup on pancakes. Look at you, Joe. You were wide awake this morning, even hitting the gifts.
Sorry, I couldn't resist it.
So I talked about, I think it was either late December or start of January when we did an episode, and I talked about getting rid of my evening snacking because I would just eat chocolate or crisps or chocolate and crisps or cakes or whatever else about 9 o'clock, and it was an awful habit. And I think I talked about chucking away my Quality Street when I realised I didn't even like any of them. So, and I asked Ryan to keep tabs on me that during January he'd listen for those munching noises to make sure that I wasn't eating, and that February, which is obviously where we are now, quite far into February, that I would introduce fruit rather than chocolate into my routine for this. Which I'm very pleased that I've actually managed to keep to that. So January there was no snacking. It was really difficult at the start, but actually by the end I didn't even really notice it. And I started now buying some bananas so that I've got that to have, but also made a couple of other habit changes at the same time, which I wasn't expecting to do, but I just kind of started doing it. One of which is drinking water, which I know is a big thing everyone says, but I would live off of coffee all day. I'd maybe have a glass of something when I had dinner, but other than that, I would just have coffee all day and some tea in the evening. So I was there in the kitchen. I thought, maybe I can start next week on the water. And I've got like a row of water bottles on the side that I had for me and the kids in the summer. So I just said, no, just put that bag in your bottle, put that bottle in your bag, and start tomorrow. So I did, and I think I drank two and a half like bottlefuls, so 2.5 liters, and I then did it the next day. I then did it the third day, and it actually kind of went through my head, Joe, that I thought, this is a habit now because I'm starting to do it every day. And I've done it. I've been doing it for 2 weeks now.
It's incredible. Isn't it?
On top of which, the breakfast thing as well, where we talked about it, stuck in my head. And I'm like, Ryan, I find it really difficult to eat first thing in the morning. So I started taking a banana with me, and I have a banana in the morning, which is and then have my lunch, have a bit of fruit with that as well, and it kind of expanded. So with eating some fruit during the day, making sure I've switched out having like potatoes and stuff with dinner for like veg and salads. And with my banana in the evening, I've worked out that I'm actually, for the first time, probably since I was a kid, getting at least my 5 a day, although I think they've changed that to be more than that. So more fruit and vegetable, drinking the water every day. And I'd say from an energy level perspective, I feel so much better for it. I don't feel anywhere as near as groggy in the morning or in the evening. My skin is so much better from it as well, just in a couple of weeks, and just from kind of pushing myself to do those things. And actually, the biggest thing, and I suddenly realised it there, Ryan, when you talked about you getting back from work, is I've got a load of rotten bananas I'm going to chuck away on top of my fridge. So I say rotten, they're just going a bit brown and spotty, where actually I don't think I've even felt that need to have them in the evening so much now, because I think changing the habits and changing my eating things, I've got into a better routine with my eating as well. So I feel really good. And actually, because they've kind of just become habits, I keep my water bottle in the bag. I just fill it up during the day, even drink it without even realising I'm doing it. So it's not really, once I've started doing stuff, it's not even taking a lot of effort to push these habits, because just not having the bad things around makes a big difference. So off the back of that habits episode, Joe, you'll be pleased to know that both me and Ryan have taken a lot of that on board. And I think we've both done really good over the last couple of weeks for that.
That's amazing.
A pat on the back for ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely should. That's incredible. That is amazing, and that's like you are coaching yourselves, but actually you've got your accountability as well, haven't you? So accountability partners are now.
And that's it. You remember in that episode? That's why I said to Ryan about it, because I knew he'd keep me in check in the evenings, which he did every so often. Also, are you eating something there, Lee? And I have. Don't get me wrong. Like you said, Joe, if you fall off, get back on. There's been some days where things just haven't gone to plan. So I think it was this week. It was Thursday at the last minute, like Wednesday afternoon. My plans for the next day changed. I was going to be in an office. I had quite a quiet day. I think it suddenly changed to where I had a day that was nothing but meetings in 2 different offices. And by 1 o'clock, I'd not eaten anything. So I'd been such a rush in the morning. I forgot to pack my bag. Got to work. I was like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah, I called you out for this.
Yeah, so I did then have a rubbish lunch from KFC on the way between offices, because I was really flagging about 1 o'clock. I then got home really late, I think about 8 o'clock, 8:30 or something, and just chucked a pizza in the oven, which doesn't really fulfill my vegetable need either. But Friday, and I was thinking to myself, it was not like, well, that's it, it's all out the window. Friday, I just got straight back on it again. And today I will keep on it, and Sunday I'll keep on it. And there was a blip, but I'm not going to let that push me off. And it stuck in my head, Joe. And I think I turned it into one of our quotes where we said, if you slip for a day, get back on it again. And that just stuck in my head.
Yeah, it's the thing.
It's not always going to be perfect. And it was just because everything got thrown at the last minute. And I just kicked myself when I got in and realised I didn't have my banana, I didn't have my lunch, and I didn't have my water bottle.
Yeah, and that's it. And I think it is to be kind to yourself, to say, look, if I fell off, it's fine, get back on it the next day. Because what tends to happen is people go, if they fall off, they go, oh, I'm not going to bother now. It's not about that. It's about just going back to it and just keep building it. And that's what you've done. It's fantastic. And do you know, I'm getting chills just hearing you both support each other and helping each other improve and feel better. Like you feel better for what you did, about your eating, and like you're saying, your skin's better, you feel got more energy, and that's working for you, which is amazing. I'm just like super impressed. And Ryan, kudos to you for keeping Lee in check. I tell you, with the little, I don't know, you saying the one video, with the crunchy bags, you're like, that's fantastic.
It's not so much the crunchy bags as the chewing in the ear, so it's probably got a double benefit for Ryan. He's helping me out, and he doesn't have to listen to me eating.
Oh, Ryan, I love it. I love it. So, Ryan, through this whole habit changing thing with you and Lee, have you finding your fortnights improving because of all the habit changing?
No, I'm more tired, so it's actually getting worse.
Ryan does a habit, and if you head over, obviously, I'll subtly plug it, Ryan, because you don't want a full plug. But your Instagram, no, what am I saying? Oh, see, the morning's kicking in. It is 6:27, people. It's still a little bit early. Your YouTube videos, where you're doing your fortnight, and people will see when it doesn't go well, you will sometimes bash your controller on the desk. And I will say that this week, Joe, when we've been playing, there's been a lot more controller bashing from Ryan when the tiredness sets in. However, Because I've had a hectic week. I'm even worse than I normally am, and me and Ryan are like 20 levels apart. So I feel like I'm just dragging him down as well.
No. You can't be blamed for my poor anger management issues.
We're still not bad. We still kind of finished second and third quite a few games.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Even when we're bad, we're better than a lot of people. And I say we in the team's better than a lot of people. I just kind of hang on to the coattails.
Is he putting himself down there, Ryan, or is he
A little.
You can say no, Ryan. It's fine. I still enjoy it. I just, especially when I'm tired, my level of hand-eye coordination just goes out the window.
You know when Lee's almost done because he'll just stop talking.
That is true, and then I'll say something like, "Oh." I'll be watching the clock out the corner of my eye. Anyway, we've gone way off track there into Fortnite and stuff. But yeah, so I say, Joe, I just wanted, and I've been thinking for a little while. Obviously, we chatted about it the other weekend, Joe, but I wanted to do that habits follow up and kind of relay that for everyone, because as we talk about a lot, is we don't just talk about what we talk about on here. This is stuff we live and do and breathe ourselves, and I feel particularly that habits episode really, really stuck with me.
And this is the thing. I mean, this is the stuff you can apply. Like, people can do what you did and apply it. You know, having accountability partners is great, and I think having someone to support you is fantastic. And if you're both committed to that, I think you can do it with all the things. And now you've done that, you can do other things like, so your habit, your eating, and then Ryan keep you on top with that. Come on, Lee, you got to do that, or whatever. However you do, I don't know how you do. You probably do some sort of bantery type thing with each other, which is good.
I think he says, "I hope you're not snacking."
Oh, I love it. That's a quote in itself, isn't it? I hope you're not snacking. But I think you're right. I think doing this podcast, it makes you think, doesn't it? Even for me, like, there's things I still got to improve on my diets and stuff like that. And I don't have breakfast. I'm doing fasting thing. I practice that. When I'm at work, I have my smoothie. So by doing all these things, and this is what's helped me. It keeps me on track. Having to come here and talk about it and talk about when I fall off, because I don't always do it. Even last night I had something to eat and I had a chocolate pudding after. It was Valentine's Day last night, and so that's why I couldn't get on the podcast last night. Though I was going to try and get a sneaky podcast in on Valentine's, but I'd be in a lot of trouble. And I tell you what, you guys are so lovely to me. To be fair, you say, Joe, I don't think you should be doing this podcast.
We said when you looked at me and Ryan spoke the other night, and Joe, there was no way on earth you were going to get away with doing a podcast on Valentine's. We were both expecting that message to come saying you can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did try, but no, I thought, no, I better not. And so I had to go and get some shopping for our special dinner last night, which was really nice, actually. I had a little stir fry, a little chocolate pudding afterwards. It was nice. But then that led to this, didn't it? It led to getting up super early. So, guys, I just put the idea out. So it's all my fault. But I think it's good, right? I think, and also I was going to say about this. This has just come to my mind. What other, we are doing this without having to do this. Like, this shows that for me is that we are definitely committed to doing this podcast and helping people, for getting up early and doing this. We go to our jobs and stuff like that, and we do love our jobs, of course we do. But you're doing this. We're not getting paid to do this, and we're doing it because you want to help people. And how crazy is that? I don't know what your thoughts on that.
I think my thought process was, I can't not turn up because it wouldn't look good for you two. So I think I was just relying on the accountability part to make sure that I was here.
I agree. There's two parts. One is exactly that, and we've talked about this before, guys. We all have our roles within this. It's a joint effort, and none of us want to let each other down with what we're doing. So if we were doing it, there's no way I would be part of it. And the other bit is this is episode 49, I think. I'm not going to have that week 49 after everything we've done is the week that we don't put something out. So, and we know, God, we even had a backup plan, didn't we? So we talked about this during the week. We've gone through every day that, and you said about last night, Joe, and obviously there's stuff on today, but there's been every day during the week that one of us couldn't do it. So it became our plan. And we even had to plan that, if needs be, me and Ryan would jump on Joe.
Yeah.
Which, there's lots of things we can do to work around it to make it happen. But this is, and we've talked about it before, guys, this is a huge part of my life and who I am now. Doing this podcast, like the habits thing we talked about there, I think I am who I am because of all the stuff we've talked about on here. I've grown as the show's gone. I think you two have. Hopefully people listening have got something from that as well. But it's part of my everyday life. This part of my routine when I get home is to do all the stuff I do around the social media, the background stuff, the infrastructure stuff. And I do it without thinking. I mean, our little clips and stuff we put on social media. So I've got a lot of content I've created. Obviously, Joe, you've got your videos. Did you say 479? I think it'll be 480 on the day this goes out because it'll be going out tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it will be. Yeah,
fantastic. I think I've got something in the region of about 250 graphics or little audio things that go up onto Twitter and Instagram as well, which I just do. As much as I make dinner and get clothes ready for the next day and make lunch, it's doing my social media stuff as well. It's just who I am now. So I don't think there was any part of my brain that wasn't going to find a way to make it happen.
And that for me is the important thing. No matter what happens, this has got to go up. There's no excuse, no fix. So if one of us can't do it, that's if I couldn't do it, it's got to go up. Without it's got to do it, and that's got to happen. So that's the point. This podcast is for people. We love it, but also we want to serve people. So it can't not go up. So if one of us can't make it, it's got to happen in some way. Even if two of us can make it, if two of us can make it, then someone's got to go solo and do it. That's for me is how ingrained it is in my soul at the moment. How important I think it is. Because I think all the engagement we get and the fact that it gives us this whole thing about reflecting on who we are, what we want to achieve, and what's important to us. And I agree. I think this has now become part of, like you say, part of me, and I can't imagine not doing it, which is strange, isn't it? But whatever happens, even if none of us could do it or something, I'd want something like even a 10-minute episode with one of us just talking about something to go up on the audio. Even if it's just audio or just visual, but some form of the podcast to go up, no matter what happens, it's got to go up. That's what I feel is doing. And I think with the three of us, I think it just it makes it happen. Like even when I said, suggested the early morning thing. You'll go, well, Ryan just said, well, I've got to be here, and I think for me it's amazing because, I was half expecting people to say, like you said before, that I was half wanting you to say no, so I could say, well, I don't have to get up so early. I can, but you did, and I think that shows part of the thing that's ingrained in us. And I think I definitely have improved. I've definitely got better at things because of this. But I think I've got better at my coaching. I've got better at my videos. I've got my routines become more solidified. It definitely makes me get up early. It makes me make sure I get up early as well. I think this helps me get up early by doing the podcast and having to talk about it. So you and Ryan are my accountabilities, but also our audience are my accountability partners as well. Because if I try to coach people and I'm not doing the things that I think should improve, then how on earth can I coach people? So it's just about living that life and actually reaping the benefits, because I never thought that if I'd looked back 10 years ago that I'd be doing something like this and I'd be reaping these benefits of what we're doing. So I think it is good. So I've gone on a bit again there, but I just really feel passionate about it.
That's our pledge to you out there listening in Inspiration Nation land. That doesn't work, does it? Nation takes care of the land a bit. Anyway, that's our pledge that we will keep doing this for you. Keep coming. And I say this week has been really encouraging with me with some of the feedback we've had from people that we've been engaging with for quite a while. And there's been some new people kind of putting some really good feedback and kind of endorsing the podcast as well, which has been really positive and really encouraging. And those you out there that are doing it, we really thank you. Those that are doing it in the background, recommending it to people. We see little clusters of listeners in certain areas. We really thank you guys for doing that as well. Those that have been with us from the start, and those that are new listeners as well. And if you are new, we encourage you to go back through the archive, listen to the episodes. There's a lot of great stuff in there, and you'll kind of hear our journey over the last what is almost a year now. Into where we are now. We've referenced quite a few times about the habits thing. I just want to say that is episode 45. So if you've not had to listen to that, I really encourage people to go back and listen to it. Also, and I'm trying to find the number, I noticed this week there's an episode we did a little while ago that stands out to me like a sore thumb for its popularity, which is, I believe, it's the What's Real Life All About? Has had a big spike in people listening to that. So obviously that's
really
the one there as well. Yeah.
How many people we've got? Well, not people. What's the sort of percentage increase on that? Do you think
that's probably got twice as many as the ones around it? So really, really good. Also,
wow.
A shout out for our friend of the show, Dylan, who we did an interview with on Lyme disease, episode 36. That's got even more than that. That's one of our most popular episodes we've done. So really encourage people. Very different from what we normally do, but a really impactful episode. Oh, that's it. And sorry, my last one, Figuring Your Life Out.
Okay.
Hugely popular. So that is episode 26. So see, the nation endorses those particular episodes. So if you're listening, if you haven't listened to those before, pop back in the archive and whatever you're listening to, give those ones a listen. If you're inclined to, hit your subscribe button and also hit that 5-star review and leave us some comments if you like as well. Obviously, if you believe we've earned that.
Yeah, yeah. So, Ryan, what about you? I know Lee and I've definitely done a lot of talking again.
By the way, Joe, me and Ryan talked about this, and it was really odd the other episode where you didn't do a lot of talking. So don't worry about that. Just be, as you tell us, just be yourself.
Yeah, I'm just conscious about getting a lot of airtime. I just get passionate. That's the thing, and that's
you're our coach though, so that's the point.
Plus, I think we're all good enough friends now that if you are going on to the show, we'll just tell you to shut up.
Oh, good. That's good. So, Ryan, what are your thoughts?
On what part? Sorry.
Any part, right? So, about the podcast, I'd say the podcast about, making sure it happens, it makes sure it comes up,
It's early. You can't throw him these open-ended questions, Joe. He's already said it's too early for him. On the tech side, Ryan, because obviously I've talked about the social media in bit. Obviously, Joe does his videos on the content bit every single day out there promoting it. You are our tech man, so once we ramble on and we put together our poorly put together initial videos that you turn into something great, and I would say I generally am the one that makes video editing a lot harder work for you. So there's a commitment bit for you there on the editing bit in the background as well. And I suppose, is that a push sometimes to get it all done? Does it become part of your routine?
Generally part of the routine. I think as time's gone on, we've done it kind of later in the week. But I think that's probably my fault where I've either been busy or I've had to kind of put it back a little bit. But I think we found a bit of a home now at the weekend where we upload them.
Yeah, I think it works well.
I think that when you get it all together, it isn't that difficult to put it together. It's not any magic that has to be done. It's just syncing the clips up and then just putting it together in a video format. But I think as time's gone on, obviously we started with just audio, and then it was in Lee's front room, or Lee's living room, sorry, and then we moved to Lee's front room, and now we're kind of there, and as well as in our own homes as well. So I mean, it's definitely developed in the 49 weeks that we've done it. Obviously I've been on board since day one, but I've not. The first podcast that I went to was number 16, I think, and that was when we first recorded it, as in video recorded it. So I think that in that time period a lot has changed, but I think it's just become a habit. I think really just making sure it's done and ready to go up, because we're accountable to each other to make sure it's there, and I'm accountable to you guys to make sure it's ready. That's how I see it anyway.
I'll tell you what, I love it. I just think the latest incarnation of the video is really, really good. Just fantastic, and when you see how it's evolved, it's just crazy. You know, how it's gone from whatever, and I think it sends that message to people that say, if you keep doing it, it does work. So Ryan, you've done such a good job of it. Seriously, it's these latest videos look so good, and especially with the logo, I think as well on there, I think it's great.
Absolutely. And if you are listening audio version here, head over to YouTube. We encourage you to have a look. You can see us as well as hear us with Ryan's Editing Magic in Play. The Inspiration Nation podcast is what you search for on YouTube. Reminds me, I've not done any social media names yet for this episode. Maybe I was not quite pretending to be tired at the start. I'll do my quick plugs now. Across all platforms, listen TOIN. Joey's at JN Coaching Tech. Likes, follows, shares. We appreciate all that stuff. Did you do your little head bob there, Ryan, when I did listen TOIN?
No, I didn't, because
I enjoyed that in the other
What's
episode.
the head? Oh,
So I know. So I was watching the video, and as I said it, well, people watching will see me do it now, but it was listen TOIN as I said it, and Ryan did a little dance along to it, which I quite liked.
Oh, I have to watch out for that. I have to watch that back now. I have to watch it back.
So we've grown. This started off, like you said, Joe, because what we're doing, we've got morning routines, and actually we've kind of gone bigger into talking about routines overall as a whole, and kind of the positive benefits we've got and how they've evolved, and kind of consciously and unconsciously at the same time evolved going forward. And all of this stuff we do, recording a podcast, the social media, all the editing and putting the stuff together, and then the extra stuff we've talked about on top of it, Joe, your stuff you do, drinking water, eating breakfast, being healthier, are all new activities. But through, I think, being conscious of routines, we've been able to squeeze a lot more productivity in our lives, and it's not like it's really even a conscious thought anymore.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think is that power of being conscious of routines, really.
Yeah, because if we could put ourselves back into our own realities back in the day before the podcast, and then if we could then go into the future, a bit raw Rick and Morty-ish type behaviour, go into the future and go, right, grab this stuff and whack it back to those. I don't keep saying that, but like get it back to ourselves we were before. I don't know what's going on with that. And then showing that to our new selves, by the way, you're going to be in about 6 months' time, you're going to be doing all this. I think my version of me would have gone, I ain't got time for that. I'd never be able to get all that in. I think that's probably what I would say, you know, if you've gone back to that maybe 2 years ago. I don't know. But you know, those old versions of me, also, I ain't got time for all that. I've got this stuff to do. And I think for me that's what it's about. It's about you having that. We're developing discipline by doing all this. Discipline to say, okay, it's got to happen. We've got to make it happen. We can't. If we want this to work, then we've got to. It's got to happen. We've got to put it out there. And I think that's a really powerful message for people. Is that if you want to, you know, achieve the goals that you want to achieve, then you're going to have to, you know, prioritize it, and it's going to have to be the thing. You know, have accountability parts like we talked about before. You know, have a strategy, have a plan, but don't just have the plan, but actually start to take the smallest action with that plan to make it happen. And like you say, with your habits, like you said, Lee and Ryan, you know, your habits and making sure it happens, accountability. And I think we're all in together, and I think it really does feel, like you say, a real team effort. You know, we've all got our roles, and those roles have evolved. You know, when we first got together, we're all doing our bits, and it's all like, it all seems to link lovely together. And we haven't really sat down and planned it. We thought, well, what about this? It's just been about, what about this idea? Let's just try that idea and see what happens. It's been a bit innovative, and I've really enjoyed that. And I love the freedom it brings us to be creative and to try different things, and to be open about things that work and things that don't work, things we think, oh, I'm not quite sure about that, but we just try it. And then, yeah, that worked, that didn't quite work. And I love that. And it's almost like just finding a new version of that, isn't it?
Cat wants feeding, Joe.
Yeah, I know. Can you? I know. Hang on, I've got to open the door. Anyway, so what are your thoughts on that? Because that's how I feel about it. What do you guys feel about it? And
it's good. I think that's a really good summing up of it all there. And I think just the power of the routines, being conscious of it, and also a bit which we're doing here, which we talked about before, is that kind of looking back thing and seeing how you've evolved as well. I think is really powerful. If you're conscious of your development, if you're conscious of growing, which everyone listening to this show will be, then I think again, be one of those concepts is just being conscious of routines and how much it lets you fit more into your life and what you're doing. It's a really, really good message. Also, I confess, I tried to look up something on my internet and my sound died, so I missed about a minute of what you said as well, Joe. But hopefully, I kind of summed it up well there. If you watch it on YouTube again, you'll see a slight panic in my eyes where I'm like, I can't hear anyone, can they hear me? And it came back and you were still talking, so I was like, phew, I got away with it that time. Not like last week where I just died.
I just love that. I love the honesty there because I think that's brilliant.
That's what we do. Here, honest. It's early in the morning. I've got bed hair. It's all good. Right, we are at 51 minutes, guys, which the laws of podcasting tells me is a good time for wrapping up a podcast. Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, mention around morning routines, or the hell of Joe making us get up this early?
I know. Blame me for that. You can blame me totally for that. I made you do it, but I was totally open for you not to do it, of course. When you thought, for me, like, I just think it is about that. It's whoever's listening to this. If you have a dream, you have a goal, you just get started on the smallest way possible. Just start off really small. Just start off like Lee and Ryan, how you really amazing. Like I remember that last episode. All I can remember, I don't know why I've got where Ryan's doing the thing with the video because I love the videos. I mean, I just really engaged with like we did this thing about the with the I love that sound he did. Like Lee goes over and grabs his biscuits. But all these little things about, I just loved that. It was brilliant.
What you were on about there.
Maybe it's early morning, who knows? But there's a bit on the video where Ryan goes over and he starts, actually playing out how Lee would go over and grab his biscuits and make the rustling sound. Anyway, it makes me laugh. I don't know why, but it does. But it's all those little things that we can shift if we really put our minds to it. And I think it is just making those little changes every day, and they add up to massive changes. I mean, look at what we're putting out there now. It's huge compared to where we were, and it's all down to you guys putting in the effort and making it happen. And I just love it. And it's great. We're all making it happen through those daily routines, and all our lives are changing. We're evolving, and it's just. And I like I said before, Lee, this is like for all of us, like Ryan, Lee, myself. This is almost like a journal, an audio journal, video journal when we're on YouTube of our lives. And like we said before, we are no one special. We're just three guys just wanting to get better, just wanting to improve what we do. And yes, sometimes it's damn uncomfortable. Sometimes we don't bloody want to do stuff. But what we do is we show that we do it. We do it is uncomfortable. We have got uploaded to the podcast and we felt it was uncomfortable. But look, we're doing it. And actually, it's amazing to think we're all doing this and we're motivated to do it. And even though we half didn't want to do it or didn't want to do it, we did it. And we can be proud now that we did it. And we can now hopefully inspire our audience to say, you can do it too. If we can do it, then you can. It's possible. And that's what I wanted to leave it at that.
Excellent. And if you commented on the biscuit thing there, you know what makes me laugh, Joe?
Go on.
I hope this works. You'll see on the video, I'm just putting my other earbud up to my microphone to see if this picks up. So I'm just going to play something here.
Oh, here we go. Baby Yoda!
That's my favourite thing, Joe. I've clipped that and I'm going to drop that in as many times as possible. I even considered that making my ringtone for you on my phone.
Oh, do you know what? I really feel honoured. I'd be really honoured. I would love that. Honestly, I'd love it. I would be really proud that my singing has made it onto your phone.
Makes me laugh every time.
That could be an Inspiration Nation single right there. Baby Yoda!
That feels like a good note for me to count us down, guys.
Baby Yoda!
I want some breakfast and Ryan's got to get to work.
All right, okay. I'm getting carried away now.
This has been good fun, guys. I've enjoyed this. I'm wide awake for the day now. Hopefully everyone listening has enjoyed this and got some good advice as always from us.
Yeah. Ryan?
Yeah.
Last notes from you?
No, I'm good. I think you guys covered it all.
That's my favourite thing. I love you for that, Ryan. The summing up, it's like, no, done. It's time to go.
Boom.
Again, listen to IN, listen to OIN across all platforms. We would love to hear from you. Give us a follow, leave us a review. Check out Joe Neuer, by the way, at JN Coaching Tech. Stick it into your Google machine. His website's full of wonderful stuff. And as you've heard, me and Ryan have learned a lot from Joe. You can too, and you can get in contact with him over at the website. I think that's all the admin done. All that's left is to count us down and say 3, 2, 1. Inspiration
Nation. Catch you guys later.
Later.